Hey, this is Maggie.
And Ashley.
And you're listening to The Watering Hole, a place where animals and animal enthusiasts regularly drink. Every episode, we'll talk about different animals and why they're cool, from basic biology to the threats they face and what people are doing about it, all while under the influence.
The intonation changed.
I gotta
You
give...
wanted to change it up.
I gotta give the listeners something if they're
Right.
not gonna fast forward through this.
I mean, if we're going to record it every time, might as well change it up.
Might as well. Should I just keep going and
Sure, you just keep talking, because I think I dropped chocolate down my shirt.
just read the closing, which
Yeah.
is right below the
We'll
intro,
just do
and
it all
and then we'll end
At
it
once,
now.
and then I'll just edit it. It'll be perfect.
And then we're done. So it's really funny because
Is it?
it's not at all. I don't have my animal pulled up yet, so we're gonna have to shoot the shit for a minute.
Well, let me fudge with my microphone again.
So
fudge. All of a sudden, I've decided this is a PG podcast. I'm gonna fudge with this.
So you know
Oh
how
gosh darn!
we're both often embarrassing ourselves in front of cooler people.
All the time.
So last weekend I went out with my soccer team after our game, and I ordered with one of my buddies. We ordered a plate of nachos. And I'm sitting next to the guy that invited me to join the team, who's a pretty cool dude. We're friends. But like, this is the person that invited me to join.
Yeah.
And while we're talking, he just looks at me and he goes, you got nacho cheese on your cheek.
No!
And I was just like, Jesus fucking Christ. Kill
Here's
me
the
now.
thing though. Would you rather than say something or not say something, and then you go to the bathroom like 20 minutes later and you have cheese on your face?
Here's the thing, I would never have gone to the bathroom, so
You would never have known.
wouldn't have known until I got in my car and or showered 3 hours later.
Maggie's a bladder steal. This is what we're learning. Meanwhile, I pee. It's so wild. When I'm in the office, because I'm in the office 2 days a week now, I feel like I pee every hour.
Well, that's nice. You're staying hydrated. I clearly am a
guess
camel.
so. I don't know what it is.
To answer your question, I would rather somebody tell me, and I
Yeah.
usually try to tell people, like, hey, you got something in your teeth
Yeah.
there, or I don't know. There's no way of not making it awkward,
Yeah.
so you just be like, hey, try to be casual about it, which is what he did. But of course, everybody else is around
Right?
listening to this, and I'm just like, also, how did it get on my cheek?
Right? What were you doing? Were you just face first in these nachos? Were they good?
Yeah.
Was it worth it?
Yeah, totally worth it. I'd do it again.
I'd get cheese all over this face. Nachos.
Now I would love some nachos, though these Girl Scout cookies are pretty mwah.
Yeah, better than the vegan pizza we had.
Oh my God, we had vegan pizza before this, and listen.
It wasn't, I mean, I won't say it was like, there was a reason we bought it 2 weeks ago, because we thought our
guest.
guest was maybe possibly vegan to have it as a backup, but now we just had to eat it. I thought it was fine. The fake cheese really stuck to the fillings, you know.
So I'm a big texture kind of eater. Like,
yeah.
I cannot eat Jell-O. I will throw up.
Really? What about Jello shot? Since you might throw that up anyway.
I make it work.
Okay.
Because
you don't have to really feel the texture.
I mean, I
Hands
just
down.
try to make it quick.
Yeah.
And so this cheese was kind of slimy and
Yeah, vegan
snotty.
cheese is not worth. Like a lot of vegan meats I can do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And do.
and
Especially because I'm a vegetarian,
Sure.
so I'll still eat cheese.
Right.
But vegan cheese is just not come as far. It still has a
I
long
can't.
way to go. Did I tell you about the vegan bacon I found?
You might have.
It's called Bacon, Bacon, and I think they make it in
Yeah.
Oregon. I need to order like a 6-pack because it's the best vegan bacon I've ever had.
That sounds great. Send me a link.
Oh my God. Maybe next time if I get it in time, I'll make us BLTs.
That sounds so
Wouldn't
fun.
that be so good?
Have I ever told you that the bar I used to work at in college has a sandwich named after me, and it's Mag's BLT and E?
What's the E?
Egg.
Oh, look at
Yeah.
you. Me and my sister are big bat fans. Bacon, avocado, and tomato. We
That
just
sounds
skip the
great.
lettuce.
Yeah,
But
why?
you can also add the lettuce back in.
You can do whatever you want.
You can do whatever you want.
with a BLT. You
a
could make
blat. A bolt.
you could make a bag.
What's the G? Bacon, avocado, and goo. So vegan cheese. And she brings it around.
Okay, so you're ready to hear about my animal?
Yeah.
Hints, here we go. I think you're gonna get it. We've talked about this animal recently, but not on this podcast. That's hint number 1.
Okay. We do talk a lot about animals for fun.
Number 2, it's an apex predator that swims in some of the coldest waters of the world.
Leopard seal.
Yes! You got so...
I'm so scared. I'm so scared.
All right, everyone. The leopard seal,
Oh my God.
aka Hydrurga leptonix.
Okay, hydro, water.
Except, yeah. Hydrurga,
Can you spell it?
Hydrurga. Hydrurga.
Oh, yeah, that is very...
That means water worker.
Uh-huh. Why?
And leptonix is the Greek for thin-clawed.
I don't like that. For some reason, thin claws make me more scared than thick claws. Thin things...
Because they're spindly.
Yeah, just... I'd rather...
And like old and creepy and
Yeah.
wrinkly. I don't know.
I'd rather have a thick clawed beast after me than a thin one. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, like I would rather take a grizzly bear than an eye.
Yeah?
Don't quote me on
Think
that.
about that for just a second. Because while I'll admit an eye is creepier, I don't think they've killed anyone.
I don't think I was thinking when I said that.
I don't think you are either. I think that's when the second beer really hit.
Right there.
That's when it is. So, continue.
All right. So the leopard seal is a member of the quote-unquote true seal group. Do you know what constitutes a true seal?
True seals, they have ear holes. They don't have any flaps. They do not have a rotating hip bone.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I don't know what else. If there's anything else.
Those are the primary characteristics.
It's been one of my life goals to educate people on the difference between a
Honestly,
true seal and a sea lion.
My favorite meme that still exists is a sea lion looking really frustrated at the camera, and the caption says, "When people call you a seal, but you're a sea lion." I wrote here in my notes, the main difference is it's the seal slugs. Like,
For real.
really though, seals, if it looks like a slug, it's a seal.
You see it move on land and it's just inching by.
That's a seal.
It's scooching by.
Yeah.
If you can describe it as a scoocher, it's a seal.
If it's kind of moving well on land, it's a sea lion. However, fun fact, fur seals, they're actually members of the sea lion family.
It's weird.
It's weird. Okay, so a leopard seal is a long, slender seal with a prehistoric-like, raptor-like face. If you look at their profile, they look like a freaking dinosaur.
It's so scary.
They are so cool. They are rather spotted.
We're having one of those moments again where we have different opinions. Here's the thing. I think they're cool, but like they are my worst nightmare.
They are terrifying, but humans have very little to fear from them.
That's true. I know. Yes.
They are where are they found? They're only in Antarctic and like sub-Antarctic waters, which I'll get more into in just a second, but they're only found Southern Hemisphere. They are the second largest of the Antarctic seals. Can you name all of the Antarctic seals? This is one of my favorite fucking things.
How many are there?
5.
Crab eater? Is it crab eater? Hooded?
No.
Fuck. Ringed?
Nope. Think of the different seas around Antarctica.
Okay. You're asking too much of me
Okay.
right now. I got one.
You got one. Think of something with a long trunk.
Oh, elephant seal.
There you go.
Oh, I love elephant seals.
They're the biggest of the Antarctic seals.
Are walruses only Arctic?
Yes,
And not
correct.
they're not a seal. They're their own family. But
Yes.
sorry.
No, there are no walruses in Antarctica.
Gotcha. They're hanging out with the polar bears in the Arctic.
Exactly.
I don't know.
So
Wait, Weddell.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got one more.
No.
Ross.
Oh, I would have gotten that one.
Yeah. So to recap what Ashley just said, we've got
Actually, barely said.
we've got the leopard seal, which is the second largest, the southern elephant seal, which is the largest, Ross, Weddell, and crab-eater seals. They are all found in Antarctic waters. All right, time to go on a side quest. So together, Antarctic seals form a tribe known as the Lobodontini tribe.
Okay.
Don't include elephant seals because that tribe broke off like in the Miocene era.
I don't know if I want to be on this side quest anymore.
They're big and funky. Don't count them.
Gotcha.
Okay, this tribe all have lobe tooths. Lobodontini.
Okay.
It's specialized teeth for filtering out food from the sea column. So kind of like the same concept as baleen whales, except in teeth form.
So they're filter feeders, but like with filtered
with
teeth.
actual teeth, not broomstick
Not like
teeth.
hairy bits.
Yeah.
That's not, it's kind of accurate, but
That's
it's
exactly
not.
it. So while crab eaters, Weddels, and Ross seals will eat krill, and then I put in parentheses, which is a fun fact, crab eaters don't actually eat crabs, they eat krill and have teeth shaped like Harley Davidson flames.
Oh, I knew they had funky teeth.
They do. They have the most sieve-like teeth, so
Okay.
like they're extremely close together and they can sift out the water so that they can eat krill, which are among the tiniest food in all of the ocean. All of the species in this tribe have developed their own niches for what they eat. While the leopard seal has taken like a total left turn from the small prey avenue.
Was like, I'm gonna actually eat the biggest thing I can find.
Exactly. So
that's not an elephant seal.
Exactly. Same concept of sieve-like teeth, but they're focusing on larger prey like fish, penguins, cephalopods, and even small seals. Or, you know, even small marine mammals. So if they find an orca baby that's small enough, they might. They might if they want.
There's
Another
an orca baby.
Well, orcas are actually like the biggest assholes in the ocean, so I don't feel bad.
Well,
for
you know
them.
why? It's because they're fucking smart.
I know.
Because humans are the biggest
Humans
assholes.
are the biggest assholes. And it's 'cause we're
Dolphins
smart.
in general are actually kind of assholes.
They really are, and it's because they can think. Still on the side quest, another fun fact about the Lobodontini tribe is that they are the most well-performing marine mammal groups. Which just means that they're populous, they're niche, and they're successful at living. Really, that's it.
They're killing it.
But
Crushing it.
But because they're found in one of the most inhospitable places on Earth, they're also the least studied. Herein lies the connection to me. Because humans are fucking up habitat everywhere else in the world, and we're not for them. That's why they're in like the winning most top performer
Because
categories.
they're like, humans can't get to us.
Exactly.
How sad.
It is.
But
Anyhow.
like, good for them.
So let's get back into leopard seals, part of
Why
this
not?
tribe. They are, how big are they? They're big. They're an apex predator. 3.5 meters or 12 feet in length, and they weigh 380 kilos or 840 pounds. Females are bigger.
Fuck yeah. I have a theme for this episode. Continue.
I already told you that they're found in the southern hemisphere circumpolar region. They are pagelic. Pagelic. They're ice-loving.
I said that with a lot of confidence, and I don't know if that's right.
It was the second beer.
The amount of confidence I was like, here you go, Maggie. Here's the
I know this
information.
word. Oh my gosh. They live on pack ice surrounding Antarctica, but they will venture into subpolar islands like the Falkland Islands, the Macquarie, and the Heard Islands. Occasionally, youngsters will go explore Australia's southern coast.
Want to know it?
But they're probably getting too hot there and realize
That's
not.
where dangerous things are anyway, so why not have leopard seals?
Why not? I do find this interesting though because they're not swimming northward up to South America, which is latitudinally further south than Australia. And so I asked in my notes, why do we think that is? My perception is because the Drake Passage is the toughest
Like the impassable
swath
kind of,
like it is just the hardest place to be in all of the oceans.
Yeah.
Okay, now the fun stuff, which is why you got kind of eked out when I brought these animals up.
Honestly, just their looks.
They do look prehistoric.
Because their face is like half. They look, okay, so you know how like frogs are basically mouths with bodies?
Yeah.
That's what I feel like leopard seals are.
They got a big
like
old
their
mouth.
mouths are just large. Yeah, just like that.
So their big heads can move around more like a sea lion than a seal. They can look all around. It's very flexible, and this is an adaptation to help them hunt better. They're master ambushers and will wait for things like penguins to splash into the water, and then they'll pop out from behind some sea ice and eat them.
I know they don't eat humans, but for some reason I just feel like I die by leopard seal.
So they're very curious animals. There was only one fatal attack on humans ever recorded, and it was most nearly an accident. The way it was described, it was in the 2000s, but it was because humans were also trying to explore a little bit more, and leopard seals aren't used to humans. The whole situation, it sounded like a total freak accident. The leopard seal did not know what it was doing.
Well, it's like most shark attacks are just a shark being like, I think you're a seal, and then it bites you and goes, oh gross, you're not. And then it's like, well, I'm a shark, so one bite is too much.
Lethal. Yeah. So same situation here. You have nothing to worry about with leopard seals.
But there's just something in my little lizard brain that's like, avoid at all costs.
So one thing that I think a lot of people have probably seen on the internet are videos of penguins standing along the sea edge, kind of scared to be the first to jump in, and it looks like they're worried about the water being too cold, right? Like, oh, I don't want to jump in.
I don't want to do it, Ma.
It's actually because they're terrified that there's a leopard seal, and you can't see when the water is dark down below. It's not tropical water.
It's not nice and smooth and still. It's moving.
It's moving. You can't see what's happening below the surface. So really, the penguins don't want to be the first one to jump in and get eaten. That's what you're seeing, truly. Leopard seals, though, are particularly vicious hunters. They are sometimes called the polar bear of the South. I don't know why I wrote this, but if leopard seals were a character in Game of Thrones, it would probably be Bronn. Machine-like killing, stealthy, swift, skillful, not boastful, but definitely confident.
Wow, you were in a really geeky mood, weren't you?
I don't know what was going on with me last night.
Sorry.
So
I say that laughing. I did my research before you came. That's why I told you so. Yeah.
Perfect.
I pulled a Maggie.
My favorite hunting fact, for those who did not watch Ashley and the Planet's YouTube video on penguins.
Which you should.
You should. Linked here.
Nice.
Somewhere.
And if you're listening to the podcast, we'll put it on social media or something.
Or it's in the description notes.
In the description below.
Episode notes. So I have seen leopard seals in the wild, and I watched the end of a kill. And my favorite fact is that leopard seals, when eating penguins, they don't really like the oiliness of penguins' blubbery feathers because, you know, there's insulation, there's a lot to it. The feathers don't taste good. So the leopard seal will grab the penguin by its feet or by its neck and thrash it back and forth above the surface of the water, basically turning the animal inside out.
I'll say that fact didn't make it into the video. It was in a short outside of the video because I was like, you know what? I need to cut some things. And that's for our special audience members who want to learn more.
Who really want to know.
So upsetting, but like, what an adaptation. Can you imagine the first leopard seal to do it was like, dude, I figured out how to eat the penguin. So excited.
Honestly, I think that's just fabulous. Like, they're an incredible animal.
Oh my God.
I think they're beautiful.
Like, definition of an apex predator.
Absolutely. Like, that's what happens when humans don't fuck with nature.
Right.
So their conservation status, least concern. They're performing quite well.
Beautiful.
Their only natural predator are orcas. Also, I thought, now that you all know leopard seals don't attack humans, this is funny to add. The most common Google question that pops up when you search for leopard seal is, how do you survive a leopard seal attack? Listen.
You don't need to know.
You don't even need to know because they're not going to attack you.
They're not going to attack you.
Yeah. They're just smart enough to know. Also, humans aren't down there.
Right?
So there you go. Leopard seal.
Oh my God. I can't. The thing with leopard seals, again, amazing creature. It looks like someone took a face and just like carved in a mouth. Mm-hmm. The lack of definition in the mouth is what upsets me so much.
They really do have a big, Joker-like mouth almost.
That's what it is.
Like, it's just too big.
Yeah. They don't have any kind of like muzzle or like defining like nose kind of thing going on.
It's all mouth.
And that's upsetting to me. But not gonna lie, they are a cool species.
They are super cool.
And I do like telling people about leopard seals.
I
if they
couldn't
don't know
believe
about
we
them.
hadn't done leopard seals already.
That's wild. Good for you for getting it.
Loved it.
You grabbed it. Nice work. Are you ready for this?
Are you all ready for this?
Are you ready for this? I pulled a Maggie. I did the research right before you came over. But I had mentioned, you had said that in leopard seals, the females are bigger than the males. So I said, it's kind of on theme for what I picked.
That's our clue.
Because I was going to give you more. Do you want more?
I'm just trying to put myself in the frame of mind for this.
Okay, so the reason I picked this animal was because although this will not be released within this month, it is, while we're recording it, it is the beginning of Women's History Month. So
Cool.
all about ladies.
Great.
So
All right.
I picked a species based on that, on the fact, just lady friendly. Do you want another hint?
That's not even a hint. Like, we're talking about Kingdom Animalia here. There are a lot of things where females are bigger than males, like spiders.
But what if there just aren't any males?
Oh, okay. So are we talking about... We're not talking about seahorses.
No.
What if there aren't any males? I feel like if I hadn't had some drinks, I would be able to think of anything. Like, all I'm thinking of now are males and females.
Just ladies and not ladies. It is a reptile.
You love basilisks.
I do, but it's not basilisk.
Okay. It's a reptile. There are no males.
Okay, well, so this is the all-female species of reptile in North America, the desert grassland whiptail lizards. Have you ever heard of them?
No.
No? Ooh. Okay.
So
well,
is this like the basis for Jurassic Park?
I mean, I guess so. Yeah. Which is weird because in Jurassic Park it's a frog thing. So here's the thing, and I'll get to this a little bit later on. There are other species that will, if there are no males around, females can reproduce. We talked about this when I did Komodo dragons. That's a species that also does this. But this is a species where males do not exist.
Throwback season 1. Hang on, I'm hung up on the fact that you just said Jurassic Park has to do with frogs.
The example they use when they're like explaining what DNA they used frog DNA.
Okay.
I mean, I hate to tell you this, but Jurassic Park is not scientifically accurate. Really? As a Jurassic Park lover myself, me and that movie were born within 1 month of each other.
Huh.
It is not all up in the science. But this is a species
Just like our podcast.
just like this podcast. This is a species where you will not find males. They don't exist. They think the species came across from some kind of other species intermixing, and then they developed this female thing. But males don't exist at all.
This is weird.
Not at all. So first we'll back up a little bit, and I'll give you some general information about this whip-tailed lizard. First, I'll give you the Latin name.
Of course.
Aspidocellus uniparens. Uniparens.
Let's try that all together now.
Aspidocellus uniparens. Uniparens. I don't know what any of it means. So they're a small reptile ranging from 2.5 inches to 5.5 inches in length. So itty bitty.
Little tiny guys.
They're
Girls.
very girls. We can specifically say that in this situation. Females. They're very long and slim. Their tails are often longer than their body. They are an olive or brown color, and they have a distinct 6 yellowish lines running down their back.
6?
6,
and they're that tiny.
6. Yeah, they're small little lines. And then their tails go into like a blue or grayish color.
Cool.
So kind of like if you ever they kind of look like a skink.
Yeah, I'm
does that
thinking
help
of
at
like
all?
I started with salamander and now skinks makes more sense.
They have very distinctive scales. You can see their
Okay,
scales.
cool.
Adolescents, they have very bright and vibrant tails. I don't know what the evolutionary adaptation is there, but
Just puberty.
I guess I wasn't brighter in puberty. I was duller.
Well, I mean, if you count my red acne blotches,
right?
like
My face was more colorful.
I was bright.
I also dyed my hair red when I was going through puberty, which was the worst idea
You know
ever.
what just lives in my brain?
What?
Rent-free forever. Mm-hmm. My mom was dropping me off at middle school one day, which was the same school I went to. elementary, K through 8.
Yeah.
She was dropping me off one morning, and I was just hitting puberty, and so of course I had zits, and I didn't know what to do about them. And I had two
Still
on
don't.
my chin that were, bigger than the rest of my face.
Yeah.
And my mom dropping me off. I think the car door was open. I'm about to get out, and she was like, "Man, you got some real dueling zits there on your face, huh?"
And then you just sunk into the ground.
Uh-huh. I was just like,
Wow.
wow, I would prefer not to go see my classmates who already think I'm a total loser because I have a unibrow. Like, thanks,
happens.
Ma.
It happens.
It will never leave my brain.
That's rough. Did I tell you about the blanket?
The blanket?
The blanket.
Let's hear it.
So I forgot about this for a really long time, and then I was talking to a friend, and I was a little drunk, and it all came flooding back, and I like cried with laughter.
Oh.
So when I was in middle school, I dyed my hair red. Me and my sisters all did when we went to go visit my oldest sister in college. It was like temporary dye, supposed to come out in a week or two, but I have very porous hair. So instead of coming out, the red turned orange. So I walked around looking like a copper penny. Going through puberty in middle school, so like very frizzy hair,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
didn't know if it was curly or straight, still doesn't.
Yeah.
Just not my best time.
Great.
It was also when my grandparents had their 50th wedding anniversary, so I went to it.
Which is
Um,
gold, right?
maybe?
Okay.
I don't know. It's
Okay.
irrelevant to the
Oh.
story, Maggie.
I'm sorry.
So we went, and so of course, a bunch of pictures were taken. First of all, I was wearing the ugliest dress ever, like very 2000s.
Naturally.
Like it was black with white polka dots, had this weird white choker, and like just fuzzy orange hair. And so there's a picture of all of the cousins, and one of my grandparents' friends decided we're gonna make this into a blanket. It's like one of those nice woven blankets. They took a picture of me in 8th grade going through puberty and put it into a blanket. And I was the tallest. Even though I was in 8th grade, I was taller than both my sister. So I'm in the middle of this blanket. Full on puberty, Ashley. To be fair, it was like on the couch for like 2 years, and then it was in like a back room. But when we were cleaning out my grandpa's cottage this summer, we found it, and I was like, well, we're fucking keeping this. And so I hid it in the back seat and like forgot about it, and so my mom found it, but I do want to like randomly hide it around the house.
We have to post a
Places.
picture. We have to have your mom take a picture of this, and
I think I have one on my phone, so
we need to post it on the
but
YouTube.
sorry, that's not, what a tangent. But like, I'm like, of all of the fucking pictures to put into like, it's a nice blanket too. Wrap yourself up in middle school me. Anyway, we're talking about these.
Who does want to?
lady lizards.
Oh my god, I can't.
I should just keep it. It should just live here.
Wow. Anytime you bring a guy over, hey, you wanna wrap yourself up in middle
You
school
want to see me
me?
in my prime? Wink, wink. Anyway, so these lizards, they're mostly found in the deserts. God damn it, we've gone so far off. We're talking about lady lizards. They're mostly found in the deserts of southern to central Arizona and along the Rio Grande River in New Mexico. I think there's also populations like it throughout Mexico,
Cool.
here and there. It seems like their range may be expanding, not for good reasons, mainly because their current range is being overgrazed by cattle. Like most lizards, these guys like to sunbathe during the day, and then they sleep in burrows at night.
Sounds like a good life.
Right? They're pretty much strict insectivores. So they'll dig for termites, queen ants, beetles, and they've also been seen eating, I think they like dissected one. They'll eat grasshoppers and butterflies.
Yum. Grasshoppers are great.
Right? They don't have a lot of they don't have a ton of predators. They're
Really?
primarily hunted by the leopard lizard, which is just a bigger lizard.
Not birds.
I guess I also read somewhere else birds too, but like most articles really mentioned this leopard lizard.
Not the leopard seal.
Not the leopard seal.
Not to be confused with.
Not much cuter. That's terrifying. I don't think you could. If
Arguably.
it bit me, I think I'd be fine.
What?
You got questions?
No.
This
My
peanut butter whiskey is hitting.
my brain just went.
So I'll
Oh,
drink
it's
more.
whiskey.
Yeah. What did you think it was?
Beer.
Ew. Why would it be so small?
It's a taster.
Do you want to try it now?
I don't know. I mean, I could. I don't have a cup. glass. Look at all. Where should I drink that doesn't have your lipstick on it?
Technically, it's a tinted chapstick. It's moisturizing.
Wow, it smells like peanut butter whiskey.
It's peanut butter whiskey. It's good. It's good, right?
Wow,
Screwball, if you want to sponsor us. So, like I said, though, they're all females.
Yeah, why?
So why we got all these ladies? How does that work? Don't you need some spermies and smaggies? Nope. Nope, because these guys reproduce by parthenogenesis.
Okay.
You heard of parthenogenesis?
Maybe.
So basically, it's when eggs undergo a chromosome doubling after meiosis and then develop into lizards without being fertilized by a male. Does that clear things up for you?
It does. Why do we need males then?
So, I should have reordered this. The one thing about sex with eggs and sperm that's really good when you mix the two together is that you get genetic variability.
Sure, okay, yeah.
So it's pretty much like the reason any of us can evolve is because we're changing it up, mixing it up, you get different adaptations,
what works. Yeah.
different mutations come about. So the thing with parthenogenesis is that it's essentially cloning. I will say, I did read one article that was like, they're not all necessarily clones, but its reasoning seemed flawed and I couldn't figure out more. So for the most part, when it's a female, they're just making a reproduction of themselves.
Wow, that's... it's giving me vibes of any movie or cartoon where like you're seeing this computer figure just kind of like turn into...
Just keeps duplicating.
Yeah, it just keeps duplicating, like copy paste.
Yep. But so with traditional egg and sperm, those gametes have half the number of chromosomes. So when they combine, you get a full set of chromosomes. And in this case, for parthenogenesis, they're doubling their chromosomes ahead of time. So they already have a full set.
Interesting.
And they can be fertilized as is. So the one article I read said, although they reproduce via parthenogenesis, they aren't all necessarily clones. Under normal reproductive processes, a species has each chromosome pair separated, copied, and paired back with its counterpart. The desert grassland whiptails, however, have chromosome triplets, where each triplet is paired with its copy rather than its counterparts, which I don't see how that's different.
I don't know if you just saw my eye twitch, but it illustrates
Your brain broke.
how I feel right now. What? I don't understand at all.
I don't understand how copy being paired with its copy is different than with its, like, what's the difference between copy and counterparts?
Because a counterpart I would think is different.
Right? I guess.
Well,
but,
I mean, it's not always, yeah.
But anyway, I'm not going to dig too much into it because I couldn't comprehend what that meant.
Also because you did your research right before this episode.
Shh, I pulled a Maggie. That's what we call it here. I will say though, they still display mating behaviors like mounting one another, and scientists think that they're still hormonally driven by very high levels of progesterone levels to do so, and studies have shown that being mounted by another female will make them more fertile and likely promotes ovulation. So there is still that part of it is still very much part of the whiptail lizard. So clearly at one point there must have been males. And
they just realized we can do this without males.
We don't need them. And they're like, we can just do it. So unisexuality has been identified apparently in more than 80 groups of amphibians, reptiles, and even fish. However, most other species, like I mentioned, do have other males in the species, and it's just when females are in isolation. So again, example of Komodo dragon, and then there's an example of the Asian water dragon at the Smithsonian Zoo.
Oh, wow.
Like 3 years ago, reproduced by itself. But these guys, whiptail lizards, there is not a male a male whiptail lizard does not exist and hasn't for however long.
Yeah, however long?
I don't know.
Okay.
I should have put in the stuff about they think it came from like the mixing of two other lizard
Okay.
distant relatives.
Okay.
But that was too much at the time I was
Yeah, that's fair.
But again, the bad news about this is that without being able to mix up their genetic pool, they're more susceptible to weaknesses like parasites and diseases. They can't adapt. If you get killed off by this disease, well, all your clones are also going to get killed off by those diseases.
Whoa!
Basically, it's super hard for them to adapt or evolve. So if something were to happen where, the temperature, God forbid, increases and they can't adapt to that.
In the southwestern U.S.?
Right?
Gosh, can you imagine if that happened?
They wouldn't be able to adapt. However, if for whatever reason they needed to populate a brand new habitat and they just had one individual, they can do that.
Yeah.
Whereas species with a male and female, you need both. So I guess that's the plus.
This is fascinating. I am gobsmacked.
Right? Did you not know it? I remember learning about this when I was in school. Like, we didn't go into detail about it a lot, but like, just that there's a species that they're just like, we don't need no man. And they just nick them out altogether. But don't worry about them not necessarily being able to adapt, because currently they're least concerned.
Okay.
Again, they don't have, the biggest threat is overgrazing in their habitat. But other than that, they're doing pretty solid. These ladies are keeping on.
Good job, ladies.
Yeah.
And ladies.
That's the desert grassland whiptail lizard.
That's super cool.
But yeah.
Wow.
The lady lizard.
The lady lizard. Wow. That's incredible.
Right?
Had no idea that existed. I wonder if like the people who made Jurassic Park actually knew about this lizard and were like,
right?
That's fascinating.
It's wild to me because in Jurassic Park, like they do like drawing on the things of when it's just females, they'll find a way. Nature finds a way. As Jeff Goldblum let us know. But they picked a frog. They picked like an African bullfrog or something is what they referenced. And I was like, why wouldn't they pick a fucking lizard?
A terrible
People
lizard.
have known about this lizard for a while.
Yeah.
But I was reading an article from 1988. Jurassic Park was made in 1993. But the book was written when? Maybe they didn't know. Anyway, I'm getting way off topic.
I also just like how you said 1988. They've known for a while.
1988? That's like 40 years.
Ashley, I was born in 1988 and I am not 40.
Well, okay, here's the thing. They knew before that. I was just reading a specific article.
Let's backpedal. Let's backpedal our way out of this.
Anyway, just a reminder that we are animal enthusiasts. We're not scientists. Do your own research. We just want to make you excited about these animals like we clearly are. Stop it, Maggie. Maggie's mocking me. You can't see it if you're listening, but she is. Thanks for joining us on this episode. If you like our podcast, make sure you subscribe wherever you're listening and leave us a review. It'll help us reach more animal enthusiasts just like you.
Just like you.
You can also find us on Instagram at The Watering Hole Pod, on YouTube, The Watering Hole Pod, and you can visit our website, thewateringholepod.com, because although we may not be professional, we are consistent. Tune in next time when we learn more about animals, their biology and habitat, the threats they face, and what people are doing about it.